Hey, what's good, guys? Just want to give you guys like a quick market update on like my opinion on what's happening in the market. And it's been a while, to be honest. I haven't dropped a video or have talked about anything investing wise because I've been really looking at the market. And to be honest, I feel like the market is just really just going sideways. Like if we look at the SPY, if we've been looking at the SPY, right? We haven't really done anything, to be honest, in the last couple of weeks. It's been a lot of noise, of course. It's been a lot of noise, but ever since we got like this 5% pullback, I believe it was, right? We haven't really got much from it, and we've just been we really look like we're just going to be consolidating. For technical traders, you could potentially, I'm pretty sure you could see like a flag here. So maybe we'll get a breakout, or maybe we'll get like, I don't know, like maybe something happen. We'll get like a double top. Maybe we'll break above the highs, and then something will happen, and then we'll just like sell off. Maybe we'll go into that bear thesis that I dropped a video about that. If you guys are interested, definitely check it out. But the market basically rallied today. Like the market came back because you had MU, all your memory stocks, AI stocks were really doing pretty good. Let me see how Nvidia did. How did Nvidia did today? Yeah. No, wait. Let me see. Oh, Nvidia had a red day today. Interesting. They had a red day. Well, but Micron and all your other memory stocks and data center plays look like what I looked at based off of my watch list that I have. They look like they were pretty up, like 2 to 3%. So that's interesting, right? It's pretty cool to see. I do think that there's some really good investing opportunities, like in Microsoft. I think Microsoft, it's really interesting. I think they're really at an interesting point. Had a big day today. I think Microsoft is an interesting buy. In my opinion, I would bet that Microsoft will recover. Second. This is not correct. Okay, yeah, now I can understand. Because I know their all-time high is not 460 or something like that. I know their all-time high was up here. Okay, I do think they'll come back up to their all-time highs. And I think I don't know how much they're down. Maybe they're down like 25% from the all-time highs. And, they usually never happen, and we all understand that the reason why, Microsoft and the other hyperscalers are, if they're down this much, is because of the investment in AI. And I just have them projected. So in my projections, I do have them, I do have cash flow being affected, pretty significantly, but I don't see them going negative free. I don't see them going like negative free cash flow, but I do see their cash flow dropping pretty significantly. And but I do have them projected like, maybe anywhere from 3 to 5 years. I do believe that they're gonna come down on that spending. I don't think this is gonna be like their new business model, that they're gonna be like just heavily invested, like they're gonna be like an asset heavy type of businesses. I don't think they're gonna do that, but I could be wrong. But I do believe that right now, if you buy these stocks, your Microsoft, Meta, I do believe that they'll be, 5 to 10 years from now, they'll definitely be a lot higher. So I would bet on Microsoft to definitely recover. I am invested in Microsoft, so of course I could be a little biased, but no, I'm not like heavily invested because I'm really waiting for like that bear market to happen. Another one that I really like is Meta, but Meta's been very volatile, like crazy. And I am invested in Meta, but Meta's like been super volatile for whatever reason. Like, they had their, and the cool thing about Meta, right? Meta hasn't really moved that much. Like they was like almost at $800 a share, and they pulled back, and they've just been in this range for the longest. Like they've just been like in this range for the longest, right? So I really do like them. I think when I did my research on Meta, when I was trying to compare them to the other hyperscalers, there's no hyperscaler who's growing like them besides Nvidia and Broadcom. But with the stocks that like invested into this AI stuff, like They're showing some pretty impressive beats, and I think that's gonna continue. They dropped a few new models, and they have some new business ideas, and it would be cool for Meta to definitely find another way to generate some income, because right now their income completely they have one form of income, like, and it's the advertisement from their platform, and they're doing great. They're making $200 billion. They're making $200 billion, and they're growing that at I think 20% this year or something like that. They're projected, or maybe 20 or more, maybe like 24%. So that they're pretty good. So if they can incorporate, they did say, I think I read something saying like they're interested in dropping, like, making their own chips, and maybe even turning that into a business, and the cloud business. And we all see how crazy profitable the cloud business is. Just look at Google's cloud business, Amazon, Microsoft. Those cloud businesses are extremely profitable, and they're growing extremely quickly. I think Amazon is growing its business. I think they just last quarter, I think it was 20%. They hit 20%. Google is growing theirs at 40%. I think they're like the fastest one. And then Microsoft is a little difficult to understand how what's their cloud business, because it's just the way they report it is kind of weird. It's like you can't really. It's not like Amazon. Like if you look at Amazon's cloud business is their AWS. You'll see AWS, and that business generates $100 billion a year, or $120 billion a year, and it's growing at, I think, 18% or 18 or 20%. Then you have Google has its cloud business separate. Apple has their cloud business separate. But when it comes to Microsoft, it's kind of a little tricky. I think if you look at their cloud, it's like so many things is like cloud. It's I would really have to go like dig really deep into it to understand what is the cloud business, because it seems like everything is their cloud business. But I do think like these companies are really cheap. Like I think I just read an article talking about it, saying like the Max 7 is like at a historical cheap valuation, and we do understand this because of this crazy momentum in AI. AI is just giving us some great opportunities to invest for the long term. So I do think like Microsoft, Meta, I think these are really good stocks to buy for the future. I don't think that you're getting them at a crazy discount. I say some of them, in my opinion, you're getting Microsoft at close to fair value, but really good companies like that, like Microsoft or Meta, getting them. These are companies that deserve to be at a premium, because they generate so much cash, and they continue to grow, at a rapid pace. So I do believe these companies, it's okay to pay, these premiums for these companies. Some companies you don't really want to trade a premium for, like, like I said, like I had my comments and my videos about, like what's happening in the memory. It seems like the market is taking what's going on in these in memory as like, this is a new form of business. These businesses are no longer cyclical, or we're just seeing like this is like the early stages. That's what it's really looking like. Like we're in the early stages of this crazy momentum in memory. Like we're like in a really crazy phase. Like I think didn't they say like the Korean memory stock is about to hit the market, and I think their valuation's at 1.5 trillion. They're about to be like the second largest IPO behind SpaceX. And let's look at SpaceX too, see how SpaceX is doing. I did make a few videos talking about SpaceX. And like I said, I don't like SpaceX for a long term, just because I just don't think that their numbers are realistic, like the numbers that they're talking about. But if you're a trader, I think you could definitely buy this. If I was like a gambler with my money, I definitely would be interested in buying some. I would definitely be interested in buying SpaceX like around that 140. Like anytime it got under their IPO, I just feel like it's like it would have been a buy. Like if you bought it like here, like you just buying it under its opening price or the low, I would definitely be buying. I'm not buying now because I'm not a trader. I'm an investor. Because if I feel like if I bought this, I would be holding. I'd be looking to hold this for years and years to come. But I could definitely see this going higher. We did get to 225. I could definitely see it going higher. Like I definitely could see it going higher. But I'm not a trader, even though I did start my investing journey as a trader, and then I just learned like I was just better as an investor than a trader. So that's why I just can't buy it. I can't buy something that's 100 times sales that's not profitable. Like I just think about it like if I was buying this company, like if I was really buying SpaceX, and they told me like would I offer them 100 times what the company makes to own this company? That's like how I think about it. But traders wouldn't think about it like that. Traders would be like, okay, I'm gonna buy it at this level, and if it gets under this level, I'm just gonna sell, and that's completely understandable. But that's not me. I feel like just buying, like, even I think this is what is this done? The other one that was pretty. Let me look it up for you. What is it called? I gotta check. It's on my watch list. Give me 1 second, guys. Like this one, I think is pretty crazy. Like this one's ridiculous. Like this one. Like I looked into this company and I was really interested in them. And I was really interested in this company. I looked into it. They look pretty cool. It's interesting. But I just can't justify paying 200 times sales for a company. I just can't. I don't know. I just can't do it. I don't know. I can't do it. Right? I can't do it. And I think they came out with some news saying that their margins are not going to be as they projected. But I'm not too mad at that because as expected, margins might drop because they're coming into a market that is pretty much dominated. They're trying to do something new. They're trying to compete directly with the big dog, with Nvidia and the other chip makers. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm not paying 200 times. I just can't find it in my heart, without actually getting like some more earnings and stuff like that, to pay 200 times what a company makes. I just can't do it. Like if it was a Palantir, like is understandable. Like if somebody was buying Palantir, I'd be like, oh yeah, I can understand Palantir. And I've talked about that in other videos. Palantir is growing at a ridiculous pace. Like, okay, you might be paying 100 times, but the company is growing 85% a quarter. Like the market has them. Oh, for example, the market can have them. Hey, they're gonna grow 75. No, they'd be like, boom, they beat that by 15%. Like Palantir is growing pretty ridiculous, and Palantir is growing faster into that into their valuation that I believe those other companies are going to do. I think Palantir right now is like maybe 60 times their sales, but still a lot. But I remember when it used to be like at 110 times its sales, and now it's 60 times sales, and they're still projected to grow really, really fast for the next, I think, 10 years. So Palantir has really good potential, and I'm beating those expectations because they're already pretty much dominating like the software military thing. And if they could get into the commercials, like more commercial stuff, like I think that's gonna be really good for them. So I just wanted to give you guys a quick update on what I think the market is. I really think that you should be holding, right? You shouldn't be selling anything, in my opinion. If you're not buying the Max 7s like Microsoft, Meta, and any other Max 7 that's down because of their investment into AI, I don't really see anything out there that's really, really good. I wish I was in the memory stocks when they first came out. I still talk about it. I think I talked about it in one of my other videos. I bought Meta. I mean, it's not Meta. Micron when it was at like $80 or $90. I had AMD when it was like at $90. And now to see these stocks at $1 trillion valuation and close to $1 trillion valuation and AMD, it's crazy. It's makes me feel a little bit sad, but hey, it is what it is. I made my money on them. I should have held them, but I didn't see them going this high. I remember I always say, this is gonna be my last thing before I go, guys. I'm just saying, it was so difficult to be $1 trillion company. But now it's like anybody's $1 trillion company. We just have another company is gonna be like, oh, they're gonna debut again at $1 trillion. We got OpenAI, we got Anthropic, we got Micron, AMD's close to $1 trillion. Like, it's really cool to see this, like, a lot of money people. I know there's a lot of people out there making a lot of money. So, congrats to them. Be on the lookout. I'm gonna drop some more videos for you guys. But I really just want to drop videos for you guys when there's really good in the market. There's just nothing crazy happening in the market, in my opinion. Like, there's nothing happening. Like, there's no opportunities besides in the Max 7. Like, I wouldn't say those software companies too, like Adobe, Salesforce. I would have to look at them. I think Adobe, when I did they might be undervalued, but just know if you're buying any companies like that has a negative stereotype on it, like, a negative sentiment, you might be holding that company for years, a few years to come, because they're gonna, the market is weird, like, the market is great. You got like, they could sell off good companies like Reddit. I bought Reddit at 120, and I had Reddit valued at 205 or something like that, and it just recently hit 205. And sometimes the market takes a while to bring those companies back to the right valuations, but you just have to be patient, right? And I talked about in my last video about, the most, like, what I love about Warren Buffett, and what I really love about Warren Buffett is his ability to be patient. Like, sometimes you have to hold through the pain. So I do like Adobe. I really do like Adobe. Adobe looks really attractive. They're generating cash. They're still projected to grow 10%. I think at least double digit for the next 10 years. I think it's the next 10 years. And I haven't looked at their recent earnings, but the last time I looked at their earnings, it didn't seem like there was any weakness. So the market is expecting weakness to come. And the only way Adobe would ever reverse, and they could potentially reverse and make a lot of people a lot of money, is if the company is could beat that notion. And the only reason I'm not buying it is because I just don't. I feel like the Max 7s are better. Even though Adobe could be, the percentages is you might definitely be able to make a bigger percentage on it if you was right on the correct price. But I feel like, I know if I buy Microsoft and I know if I buy Meta, it's just a matter of time between, till I make 20-30% of the money I invested into these companies. So, I'm gonna just leave it here, because I could go on for another 3 minutes, and then I'll make the video like 20 minutes long. But I'll be dropping more videos more frequently, talking about, like, updates about the markets and stuff like that. So you guys have a good one. I'll see you for the next one.